I'm Rick Conlow. I'm glad you're here. We're going to have an excellent little bit of time together as I talk to you about the 7 habits of highly effective employees. Now, why should I talk about that? Well, just from my own personal experience over the years. I had, 4 promotions and different organizations and succeeded in having those done. So I ended up starting a consulting business. And in our business, we've worked with over 3 million employees. So we've had an opportunity to see those who do well and those who don't do well. So zero in, pay attention. Are you hearing me with this now? All right, let's dig in. And this information comes from our book, The Extraordinary Employee. Now here's the first thing, is we got to work on our attitude. We need to focus on who we are. If you can conceive it and you can believe it, you can achieve the impossible. In other words, what do I mean by that? The things you don't think you can. You're not good enough. You don't have enough education. You're not capable. You don't have the training. You don't have the right opportunities. Those are all excuses, quite frankly. And effective employees don't look at excuses. They look at opportunities and what they can do. So you can rest assured if you follow through in what I talk about, you can have breakthrough performance. Now I do want to tell you, you're going to have to change some things. Some of the things you're doing well are fine. Keep doing them, get better. Some of the things you're doing aren't so good. You're going to be willing to change. You got to be a student of the game. Take your hands like this real quick, clasp them together. Notice which thumb's on top. Take them apart. Reclasp them with the other thumb on top. How's that feel? Uncomfortable? That's what most people say. Man, I don't want to do that, so then they do the other way real quick, right? Change is always uncomfortable, but if we stick with it, if you stick with it, I just, helped a cousin learn how to ride a bike. And at first didn't want to get on the bike. She was scared and didn't know how to get up and had to hold me, she goes. Hold me, as I'm wheeling her down. And then let go, and next thing you know, she's riding. And then she tips a little bit and you get back up. Now, she could very quickly say, well, this is uncomfortable, I'm scared, and stop doing it. Never learn to ride a bike. You know what I'm talking about? You remember when you did that? Why do we as adults want to give in so soon? Stick with it. So now, here's what we've seen in the workplace, what everybody else does. And this is almost the state of the art of how employees show up for work. They only want to do the easy parts of their job. You know some people like that? Or they complain all the time. You probably have a few coworkers that you're always getting that negative stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Or they don't want to learn how to do the details of the job. They only want to do so much. Or they come in late and they leave early, you know. Or those who take the smoke breaks. They got 2 hours of smoke breaks during an 8-hour day, and then other employees are getting irritated. Or they abuse personal or sick time. I bet you as I'm reading these, you can relate to some people that you know where you work that do this. Hopefully not you. And then there's others who bother coworkers or colleagues to get them to do part of their job. I don't know how, they say. Nobody taught me, and really they're just lazy. Or there's others who brown nose or suck up or badmouth. You know what I'm talking about here? This is what happens too often in the workplace. Or they lie to coworkers. They're not honest about what they're doing, or what they said they were going to do, but they didn't do it. Or you know what I'm talking about there. Or they resist working with others. They're not team players. They just want to be left alone. Or they refuse to change, grow, and get better at what they're doing. They go to training and all they do is complain about it and get nothing out of it, that kind of thing. Can you relate to these? This isn't good. This doesn't increase a person's income. This doesn't make you better. This doesn't get you a promotion. This gets you expendable. So now what I'm going to share with you is the difference. What the best do. And you can emulate these. You can learn these. Now, you should know that most people think they're performing better than they are. All of us. We all think we're better than they are. And then the positive thing is most of us can perform significantly better than we are. You too. So what are the things? Again, the thought process. I can do this. I'm going to learn this. More importantly, I'm open-minded to this. Because if we just have the thought, that's good, but then we got to act on it. But thoughts fade. Action rules all achievement. Here are the actions of the 7 habits of highly effective people. First, they're a collaborator. What does that mean? They work together. It isn't all about them. It's about the team and our goal. So they learn how to cooperate, to communicate well. They learn how to go out of their way to help somebody else. You know how you get teamwork in the workplace? You give it. That's what collaborators do. Then they're entrepreneurial. I didn't say intrapreneurial. The other one is starting a business outside the company. What intrapreneurial means is inside the organization, you look for ways to improve things. Not just pointing out what's wrong. You point out what's wrong, but have a plan to fix it and bring that to your boss. That's the difference there of a highly effective employee. Then they're a communicator. They learn how to listen. They learn how to speak up and share their thoughts. They learn how to do a presentation. Now, these are things that often are foreign to many employees, but they can be learned. How do you learn them? Take a training class. If you go, my company doesn't have any training, go online, like this one, and many others. You can find articles and video training that can help teach you all those things. Read a book and learn from that. And then that ties in the next thing, is they're learners. They're a student of the game. And I share this from experience. My business partner, Doug, and I, when we started our business, both of us attended over 100 programs to learn how to be more effective in selling and leading and managing, in customer service, in building a business and being a consultant. That took time and effort. We didn't know all of it like that. We had to work at it. And so we found the best employees make that a habit. They do it regularly. They don't wait for their boss to tell them, go. They look for the opportunities. And then they're an innovator. They're thinking about, how can I add value? What are some new ideas? And where do these things come from? An innovator means coming up with things other people haven't thought of. And then begin to work on it. So finding a way to take a current company process and do it better. Shorten it down, do it faster. Finding a way to serve a customer, if you're on the phone, to get more calls in, not less. Okay, that's what the highly effective employees do. Then they're a mentor. What they're willing to do is help new people. I know one company I came in, this is crazy. I was there for, a couple of years, and then they told me that what they do with new hires in the sales area is they steal something off their desk, like their phone or their keys, and then they hide it on them. It causes them all, where are my keys? Where's my phone? And they can't find it, and they're just all laughing and over in the corner. Well, that's not helping people. That's not being a mentor. What they need somebody is go over and here, let me share you some things with you to help you get going better. They need you can be a mentor internally for people. Another word for that is coaching, but you're not in a supervisory role, so it's mentoring. Help people succeed. You help others succeed, guess what? It'll come back to you. And then be a leader. Can you be a leader without a title? Absolutely. What do leaders do? They either come early or stay late. Not both, because you got to have balance in life. And they put in that little extra time. They help others. They bring up solutions, not just problems. In fact, what do? They do the other 6 things that are listed here as a highly effective employee. That's what they do. All of these are learnable. Now, I've only touched on the highlights because we got a short session here. But what it does is it gives you an opportunity to think about what you can do. Some of those you may already be doing. Maybe a couple of them you need to work on. Learn, dig in, roll up your sleeves, be a student of the game. If you're determined today and you persist today, you'll be more successful tomorrow. That's what it takes. You don't go 5 years without doing those things and say, how come things aren't working out for me? I'm making the same money now as I did 5 years ago. What's the matter with me? Or what's the matter with my company? Then we give excuses and blame others. No, own it. That's what I'm talking about. Own it today. Work it today. Tomorrow it'll get better. And the next day it'll get better. I'm going to share a story in wrapping up of a student that came to live at our house and essentially became another daughter to us. And Alba came to us, 15 years old, and eventually lived with us for 8 years, got an education here, went back home. But as I said, she became a daughter. Now here's the thing I want to emphasize about it. She didn't know how to speak English. And her country's education wasn't quite as advanced as ours, so she was behind. But she needed to start 9th grade. And she came in March. She had to start school in September and learn English to be able to compete. She was going to a Catholic school, which was higher level academics than many of the public schools that are out there, highly rated. And here's the point. She studied 6 to 8 hours a day. She learned English. She got B's and A's through 4 years of high school and went on to 2 years of college and got all B's and A's. Because why? She put in the time and effort. She believed in herself. She had support from us. particular her mother, but she got it done. See, here's the point. You have the potential just like her. It's whether or not you mind it, whether or not you use it, whether or not you act on it. Hey, I appreciate you coming today. Hopefully you got some value out of it. I enjoyed the time, and I have this dream that soars on golden wings. I visualize your achievements and your legacy that sings. I do not know all about your awesome goals or your persistent efforts to raise the bar. I only know you can be the best, a superstar. Thanks for coming.